We're podcasting right now. Lovely. Episode 1. Do you guys catch the U.S. election? That's crazy, right? Just kidding. It's not a political podcast. Day trading swings the whole stock. Never made money doing it, though. No, actually, never made money trading. Never had fun either. Not even a good hobby. It's not even interesting to me. I'm not sure what's interesting about it. I'm fascinated with this idea that you can make money on a computer screen. I think that's the part of it that I appreciate. Better off going to MGM, though. Betting on sports that I know nothing about. I did actually take some profit today, though. That's so interesting, right? Such an awkward. Oh, yes. Look at me. Lamp is very bright. I really like the content creation process. I like the authenticity of posting random things. Not for the consumption side of it, but for I guess a couple of reasons. One, the creativity, which, yeah. If you watch my videos, you won't find creativity in them, but it's a right brain process creating them or thinking about them or just posting them is a right brain process. I think there's no other reason except there's some expression of creativity. There's no other reason to post them or make them. So then the act of doing it. But the second part is the forced dialogue with myself, I guess. So it's like a therapeutic in that sense, where sometimes talking out loud is, it's a form of thinking, especially with yourself. But I mean, many times I've had, I come up with ideas or have epiphanies like mid-conversation, because it's like talking is thinking, thinking out loud. So I like it for that respect as well. The third thing is documentation. It's fun to look back like through Google Photos and see like pictures of places or things, pictures of places I've been and things I've done, people I was with. And then it recalls the memory, So for the documentation part, I think it's really interesting too. So those are the 3 reasons that this video is being recorded. Everything you want's on the other side, It's like the other side of the thing that you're not doing. If there's something you're not doing. And like Nike, you just do it. I was trying to get the screen to record, but QuickTime did not want to do it. File. New screen recording. Yeah, it's just not doing it. So weird. Politics are not necessarily interesting to me. Sports not necessarily interesting to me. Politics are interesting, but I hate arguing about that. And really just the discussion of it in general is really taxing to the brain for me. Everybody on either side lacks the critical thinking, though. I mean, there's information that we just don't have that's necessary to discuss, to actually discuss politics. The only people that actually have the information to have a real discussion about it are the people that are in it, that are doing it, that are making decisions, that are making the votes. Like, beyond that, it's all just conjecture, which is okay too. It's just not for me. Just like sports, I just don't understand it. I understand, I guess. I just don't care, That's what makes people interesting. Different ideas. You know what really fascinates me? Train people. Train people fascinate the hell out of me. Like, it's so interesting to just be that all in on something. They're just like, they just love trains. And they just know everything about them. It's like, it's so cool. There's that guy that was going on, he was on TikTok. He was in Europe somewhere. London or something. He was awesome. Loved him. I haven't seen him in a long time. Yeah. I like to travel. I hated it when I was younger. Oh, I like this the financial blueprint idea. That this is this book that I read. It's this book about, I can't remember if it was the Millionaire Mindset, but it was like the thought about it was you're ingrained with this blueprint for how to manage your finances from like a lot of it is childhood. The way that your parents handled money and that kind of thing is like setting you up for how you're going to handle things. And I found it interesting because then I started to pay attention to the way that the people around me handled money. I started to make adjustments to my perspective about it. Yeah, it did make a significant difference in the way that I handle life. Now, obviously, life is easier when you have nearing the median income. Things are a lot easier, but you could still be very reckless if you don't have a respect for what needs to be done with money and you just have shopping addictions and that kind of thing. But like the biggest problem people have with money is they make less than the median income. You know, I mean, you just have necessary expenses. Rent is always going to be what rent is going to be like. So it gets really hard if you're not making money, the average amount of money, and you're not trying to challenge. A lot of times I just find that I'm so lazy, like I don't want to do anything, you know? I think I inherited some manic depression from my dad. It hits me every once in a while. Down for the count. I don't know if I'm a fan of this camera angle. Maybe that's, I don't know if I like that either. Oh my God, yeah, it's Christmas time. Did you guys know? That's the laziness I was talking about. Christmas trees, February. Well, I think if I can make some excuses about why the tree is still there. One is, this is not my normal house that I spent Christmas in, and I don't know where to put the tree. I think nothing ever goes back in the original packaging, right? So I think that box got thrown out anyway. So like, well, how the hell are we gonna put the tree away? Where are we gonna put it? You know? Maybe I'll make a YouTube video about putting the tree away. That'd be interesting. Creative pursuit. Let me make a note about that. I spent a lot of time in real estate, residential, some commercial, but not really. Yeah, kinda, I guess. Sales and property management. That was fun. Good time. Yes, so my phone had to run out of storage. But yeah, so glare on the screen. So weird. But yep, so I spent some time in real estate. That was a good time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a YouTube video with the tree. Sounds great. I don't use a case on my phone, so you know, it's really hard to set my phone up because there's no case. Yeah. Also, people try to call me. Had some things I needed to do today. I need to hire a couple people. I own a couple Subway franchises. And I need one person for each of my stores right now. Going to Atlanta next week. Next Wednesday. Gonna go to the Georgia Aquarium, I believe that's what it's called. Yes. And it is the largest in the world. And they have a whale shark. That'll be cool. My nephew lives in Atlanta right now. He's going to, I forgot the name of it. Okay. Sienna called me. She wants to go. We've been doing the one of our community college in town has like these breakout rooms. They're nice, so we've been going. Well, we're doing some homework and stuff, so we're gonna do that today. Heavy thoughts wash over me, you know. And that's okay. and burdened by what has been. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. I made a cup of coffee. What's the difference between a blog and a podcast? A blog and a podcast. Is a podcast? This is, I guess, a blog, right? Ralph explores the internet. That's what I need to do. Figure out what the difference between a podcast and a blog is. A podcast is where you sit with headphones on here's mine. A podcast is where you sit with headphones on and you interview interesting people and ask them silly ass questions. You ask them silly ass questions about their lives and what they do and all that. This coffee was hotter than I was expecting it to be. Yep, so I'm fascinated with this idea of making money online. Like this little box, so much you can do. There's so many little tiny things that you can do. So to pick one and do it. Well, kind of, sort of. Trading is more gambling than anything. That's not what I was talking about. I meant like businesses and things of that nature. It's kind of funny to think about how much of our economy is actually online. Like, it really is a simulation. Like, it's literally a simulation because most of it's not real. It's so funny. I sit in silence quite a bit, talk to myself. This camera is just a really good excuse to sit here and ramble to myself. I love it for that. I had this podcast template. My favorite quote of the week, a challenge. Oh, these are the things. Okay, favorite activity this week. My favorite TikTok, the news cycle and why I don't care. I like that one. And then some new ideas. That's pretty good, actually. I kind of like that. There was this girl on TikTok, and she was convincing everybody to go into data analytics. I got wrapped up in that. Learned SQL. Harder than it looks. Not SQL. Getting a data analytics job. Especially when you don't really want to work. Hence, let's go back to the lazy definition earlier. What other silly things have I done? Published some books on Amazon. Had a ghostwriter write some books. Never sold. I mean, one or two, I get like $5 a month off of rolling in the dough. So the ghostwriters that you hire, it's like, unless you're going to read a 35,000 page book before the payment is due, which I think he paid him up front somehow. But then you had you could approve the work, and then you could you approve the work, but then you have to read the whole book in order to approve it, which I'm not really a reader like that. But yes. Yeah, so being a business owner has some challenges. And it's interesting, I was thinking about this because we have our unique challenges with the business that we're running. So me, as the business owner of Subway, I have very unique challenges. But even if you or anybody else, everybody is going to have an individualized list of things that they struggle with. Even if it was the exact same business, even if you just perfectly swapped me out and nothing else changed, your challenges would be different. So it would be hard for me to even say, these are the things that, if you buy Subway, here's the things that you're going to struggle with. It's like, no, because it's unique to everybody's individual skill set and life experiences. You know certain things about certain things, and your management of people is unique in the way that it differentiates itself from the way that I'm going to handle people and talk to people and manage and everything. I mean, that's just one little idea. Every little tiny thing is going to be different. So it's not like you can just come on and say, here's the 5 things you need to learn if you're going to own a Subway. Here's the 5 things you're going to struggle with. There's no way to know until you just do it. You just have to do it,
The other thing that I've always thought about is like, what if you just solely want to make money? I think you have to go in the money business. Like, it's the only thing that makes sense to me. Like, if the whole point of anything that you're doing is to make money, like for me, like I actually enjoy having staff and like employees, and like, you know, I try to like pay more than other places and that, and just treat people better. Have a nice place to work that's not like toxic, and you know, I'm successful in most of that. But like people will take advantage of that too. So it's like it's tricky. But and then I really like have always had a fascination with Subway restaurants when I was a kid. Like I just always had a fascination with it. So like for me, I was specifically interested in Subway. And real estate, you know, real estate I just got into. I was fascinated with creating residual income through rental properties. That was my motivation, like, for learning that business and getting into that business. But if you don't have anything like that, that's like your higher mind is saying to you, like, aren't you interested in this little thing? Like, you know, come on over here to this little thing. If you don't have that, then I think the thing to do is, all you want to do is make money, is get in the money business, like managing money, a financial advisor, or hedge funds, or you know, just general finance. Oh, what's my favorite quote of the week? Let's get into my quotes. What I did is I created a shortcut. The shortcut, and then I set them up on my computer here. So like the shortcut, like here creates a reminder, and then like these append notes. So like I've created like this little app basically on my Mac through the Shortcuts app, which is pretty cool. All right, I have lots of notes. Sometimes I just get into them and just poke around just for fun. Favorite quotes? Oh, in relation to like politics and that sort of thing, it's like, I think this whole like confirmation bias by means of an echo chamber was a part of the note that I had written. Like everybody just confirms their own thoughts by screaming into a cave and listening to them come back to them. I think my favorite quote right now is, our biggest problem is that we think we shouldn't have any. Because it really speaks to exactly how I feel about it. It's like, we're meant to struggle. Like we're meant to like, this thing that I've been on recently is like helping people is actually bad. It actually hurts them. It keeps them like dependent, and like once you put enough pressure on people, once the world puts enough pressure on people, then they will like break through, you know, like post-traumatic growth. It's one of my favorite things. Yeah, denying the opportunity for people to experience the struggles to become their true selves. And you see this all the time, everywhere. Everybody that's like extremely successful, happy, healthy, good, you know, successful in business, whatever, they all have this pinnacle moment or periods or seasons in their lives where they're like, yeah, this was my lowest point. The lowest point is always the turning point. It's like, that's what made them who they are. So it's like, it's almost unethical to help people. That's my opinion. That's my opinion most recently. I can hear it calling my favorite quote of the week, challenge with business. I don't know what I did this week. My sleep schedule's been really messed up. It's been really messed up. I'm sleeping like 3 or 4 hours at a time, maybe once every 24 hours. Last night I went to bed at midnight and I slept till 8. That's the first time that I've ever slept like a normal schedule in like 10 years. But that's coming off of a week of like 3 hours, 4 hours, go to sleep at like 7 p.m., wake up at like 11 or midnight, and then be up for the whole day. Just weird, really weird sleep schedule. I haven't been on TikTok all that much with the TikTok ban and stuff. It just kind of was.
Yes, my phone keeps running out of storage, I mean. But yeah, I just got bored. Like, I don't know, that was weird with like the TikTok ban and stuff. It was okay, but I don't know. Just was funky. That one. Red Note, though, that was fire for a while. I was digging that. Oh, yes, and then I just feel like I'm not actually that much control of who I am. That makes sense. Like I'm kind of just observing this person and like how he's living his life. I mean, I'm in control of, decisions and that sort of thing, but like I'm not in controls of like the wants and the hopes and the dreams. Like those aren't necessarily mine. They're like, I don't know where they come from. But they're not like, I don't decide that I'm just gonna be passionate about a certain thing. Like that's not how that works. So I find that interesting. Find that interesting, It's a good idea to have questions. The pursuit of understanding. I don't know what this was, a podcast or a vlog or what, but everybody's doing podcasts, so I just wanted to jump on the bandwagon. And then I have that personality type where it's like, you do the thing once. So I've been wanting to do a podcast, so this will get it out of my system, and then I can move on to some other thing that I have interest in. Amazon FBA. So, all right. Maybe I'll post a video of me taking down the Christmas tree. That's probably a pretty meaningful thing. All right, guys. See you later.